Our area's most beautiful properties deserve the finest realtors. Meeks Realty Group. We focus on buying and selling residential and commercial properties throughout the tri-state area. Contact Meeks Realty Group online at meeks.us or call 304-440-1101.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the show. The A-Train, Anthony Harmon, is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show, 580 Live, brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill GM Superstore. If you're in the market for a powerful, luxurious, and innovative truck, come check out the 2024 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LTZ in High Country today. Find new roads to Thornhill GM Superstore. Click or come by thornhillgmsuperstore.com or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville. And we do the show from the Par-Mar Store studio. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. Final day of the Par-Mar shootout on the campus of West Virginia State University, and I'll run down the entire schedule for you. Those games coming up a little bit later on. A little bit later on in the show, there's a special partnership that has been formed by two iconic food names in West Virginia, talking about Tudors Biscuit World and Mr. B potato chips. And that partnership, their latest venture is going to help out the Make-A-Wish program in West Virginia. So we got some folks from Make-A-Wish and also from Tudors, I understand, are going to join us to talk about that. Plus, former Delegate Joshua Higginbotham has announced he will be running for Agricultural Commissioner in the state of West Virginia, trying to unseat the two-term Republican as Commissioner Kent Leonhardt. Mr. Higginbotham is in studio with us. We're going to talk to him. But first, I want to go to the newsroom and talk to Jeff Jenkins. Jeff, good morning. Horrific crime reported with some just bizarre tales surrounding it in St. Albans. What's the latest?
Yeah, so they found two bodies there yesterday. So it all kind of started when two people came into the Charleston Police Department, downtown Charleston, yesterday, reported an incident that had happened out at a house along Sapphire Road in St. Albans. And so police responded there. It was unsecured. The residence was, they went in, they found two bodies, an adult woman and a teenage boy. And as police were continuing their investigation, one of the people that had come into the police station identified as 31-year-old Marcus Guy. He's now been charged with murder. So Guy and his girlfriend go into the police station, according to criminal complaint and report. Something had happened. Police investigated, and they found out and they've charged Guy with killing his girlfriend's mother and her teenage brother. Okay, and the victim identified as Alicia Carnifex, she's 39, and the brother 14 years old. Again, the criminal complaint says that he told his girlfriend this, and then they went to the police station. Also, the criminal complaint says that they were shot multiple times, and still trying to get at motive, right. Exactly. Some of the criminal complaint says some things, but there'll be more things coming out. But yeah, that's the kind of strange thing is that, it was reported at a police station, at the Charleston police station. Of course, it's a Kanawha County Sheriff's Department case because it's outside the city of Charleston. But that's what it is. Guy been arrested. He was charged. He didn't leave the police station. They interviewed him. They eventually charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and he's 31. He's in the South Central Regional Jail without bail.
The story broke, I guess, yesterday afternoon, Jeff, and again, you started asking questions about motives. We don't know that at this point, but just a bizarre story, and all of the events surrounding it. Like going to the Charleston Police Department, turning himself in at that point. Yeah,
it's been a particularly violent time.
It has,
in the last several weeks, and. The murder of the 19-year-old over at the tobacco shop in North Charleston. We had the murder of the woman on Chandler Drive at a residence there. So, yeah, it's been first several weeks of this year. Now, as we get into February, it's been pretty violent.
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't stay that way. Jeff, as always, I appreciate you being here, man. We'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot. Today, Valid Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. From kitchens to paints to decks, straight framing, wood, roofing, metal, anything else you'll need, you'll find it at General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. Former House of Delegates member and a guy who would like to be your next Secretary of Agriculture of the state, Josh Higginbotham, joins us. Joshua, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. Glad to be back on.
Great to have you here. So why do you want to be Ag Commissioner, man?
Sure. Well, first of all, my family and I are ninth-generation farmers. We moved to what was then the colony of Virginia in the 1700s. And ever since, we have been farmers. Our 900-acre cattle farm is right here in the Kanawha Valley. We have 120 longhorn cows. We grow corn, soy, and wheat. It's also an event venue called the Historic Woodlawn Estate. We had 7,000 visitors from West Virginia to our event venue last year. So we're heavily involved in agritourism. I think that my legislative experience when it comes to education, economic development, and infrastructure is exactly what we need in the Department of Agriculture right now. And my family's history of agriculture and working on our farm here locally, I think will really, really help the department.
Now, here's a dumb question, the kind that I'm best at asking. What exactly does the Agriculture Commissioner do in West Virginia?
Sure. Well, quite a number of different things. The Department of Agriculture regulates not only the farms, but also inspections and does health-related things for agriculture and grocery stores in the state. Works with all of the soil conservation districts in the state. We live in the Capital Conservation District here in Kanawha County, and those are all still elected positions. In most other states, I think a little over half now, these are appointed positions, the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. But in West Virginia, it has been an elected position since 1863, since our founding. And we're producing less agricultural product now than at any other point in our history. And I know with the mountains and our geography, it's hard to make ourselves an agricultural icon. But I think that if it's done efficiently, especially if we become a distribution hub for food on the East Coast, we can be the breadbasket of this region. I fundamentally believe that.
Now, Kent Leonhardt is the current Ag Commissioner. He's been on the show many, many times. I know you know Kent very well. There's another candidate running, Roy Ramey, on the Republican side. Mr. Leonhardt's been the Ag Commissioner for 2 terms. What makes you think you could do a better job? And I'm not asking you to throw him under the bus or anything, but what makes you think that, I know you mentioned your legislative experience and maybe your business experience, but overall, what makes you the better candidate of the other 2? I'll put it that way. Sure.
So, first of all, I appreciate the service that both candidates have given to their state and country, and I have tremendous respect for both of them. I like both of them personally. I would even go so far to say that Kent and I have worked together on numerous things when I was in the legislature. I have no personal issue with either of them. This is purely a policy disagreement. The focus should not be on crowning the queens of fairs, festivals, and beauty pageants. And that seems like the ceremonial duty of the Commissioner of Agriculture in recent years. The focus should be on economic development. You want to know why young people don't want to become farmers in West Virginia? It's because they don't want to live in a rural area. Why do they not want to live in a rural area? Because the roads are not good, because water and sewer lines are not available for them, because there's no broadband internet for a lot of rural communities. If you fix the infrastructure and actually focus on economic development and rural development, people will want to go to those rural communities again. Young people will want to stay there and become farmers. That's why a lot of young people don't want to go into agriculture nowadays.
Have you been out on the campaign trail? Have you started yet?
I have. Yeah, the last 6 months I've actually been to all 55 county courthouses. I've met with hundreds of local, municipal, and county state officials. I didn't actually decide to run for agriculture commissioner until a few weeks ago. I was watching Fox News, and I saw a story where China is coming into this country and actually buying thousands upon thousands of acres of family farmland, and it's a national security threat. They're buying farmland that could be used for manufacturing. They're buying land near military bases, near major cities. And we're not doing a whole lot at the state to stop companies affiliated with China from taking our family-owned farmland.
But once you're out on the campaign trail, and you said you've already been out there even before you announced that you'd be running. And I know you've done several things in your life. In addition to being a legislator, you've done several other things in the world of business. Sometimes, though, and you're a political guy, you've worked on campaigns as well. You know it can be difficult because Mr. Leonhardt has that name recognition of having run 2 statewide races, and that can be difficult to overcome. How do you overcome that?
Sure, it's about hard work. I fundamentally believe that. The last couple of elections, he's won because of geography and because he was the incumbent. So I do have a geographic advantage. We're going to have more money as well. We're raising money. We're going out and being efficient with how we spend it, actually reaching voters one-on-one. That's how I won my first race back in 2016. Nobody thought I was going to win. I had $1,500. And I went out and personally knocked on about 5,000 doors in my House of Delegates district right here in the Valley. And we won, beating the incumbent by 25 votes. The difference now is geography, it's money, and I think that I have a record to run on. And frankly, the 2 candidates are just going to split a lot of Republican primary voters.
Is there a Democratic person on
There is not.
Okay,
There's no Democrat.
So, and the filing period's over. So this will be it right here.
Yeah.
The next agriculture commissioner will be decided in the primary.
It will, May 14th.
You mentioned about your family and your background in farming, but otherwise, you as an individual, give us the bio on
Sure.
Josh Higginbotham.
So I work for Delta Defense, which is the service provider to the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, the USCCA. I'm a certified firearms instructor with USCCA. I've been a member for about 6 years now. I go out and recruit and do all the business development for the USCCA in this state. I've helped to recruit hundreds of church security teams, gun ranges, gun stores, independent instructors. And then, of course, I do some government affairs work. We've got some bills we're working on in the legislature right now. But I teach hunter safety classes. I teach concealed carry classes. I do mass shooter preparedness courses. And obviously, Second Amendment issues are important to rural communities in West Virginia. Hunting rights, just regular gun owners, people trying to defend their property from those who want to do harm to them and their families. That's why I work with the USCCA on a daily basis. So that's my bio. I live in Charleston. I live in Kanawha County. Very active in the community. I'm an elder on at my church, just down the street from the studio here. I'm a committee member at my local volunteer fire department. Serve on several boards of directors, including Prestera Health Centers, which is the state's largest mental health and recovery provider. And I put my record up with just about anybody. I believe that I can do the job.
Would you be willing to have a debate with the other 2 candidates if it happens?
I'm definitely open to it. No one's approached me about it.
May or may not happen, but you'd be willing to do it.
Yeah, I'd be willing to do it.
If your social media, website, anything up and running?
Yeah, folks can absolutely find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Just type in Joshua Higginbotham. You'll find all my social media very available. And you can send me a text. I'm available to the entire state through text. I'm very accessible.
Give me 30 seconds. Why should people vote for Josh Higginbotham for Ag Commissioner?
Fewer young people are going into agriculture in this state. Very few people want to live in rural communities anymore because of the poor infrastructure that West Virginia faces. If we want to reform the Department of Agriculture, we need a young person in there who is qualified and will encourage other young mountaineers to get into the field and work, literally. Vote Joshua Higginbotham, Agriculture Commissioner, May 14th.
All right. Well, Josh, we wish you the best of luck in the campaign, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
It is 9:21, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy West Virginia tackles pressing health issues like heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and more. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles beyond West Virginia. It's a valuable resource for all. Discover the latest episodes on WestVirginiaMetroNews.com. MakeAWishToday.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Thrive with 5 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 5%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by a Poca Valley Bank location today or call 844-782-2651. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
We are professional grade. Are you looking for a new truck or SUV that can handle any terrain or challenge? Then you need to visit Thornhill GM Superstore on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Right now, you can get a $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade an eligible vehicle on the new GMC Sierra 1500. Or shop Thornhill's great selection of GMC terrain. You can enjoy 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers on the small SUV that offers GMC Pro Safety Plus. Plus, you'll get a $500 purchase allowance and no payments for 90 days. Click or come by ThornhillGMSuperstore.com or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119, Chapmanville. Also, Factor G Financial, see Thornhill for all details.
The annual Charleston Hamfest is Saturday, March 9th at Benny Keaton Temple, 100 Courier Street in Charleston with free parking. You're invited to this flea market of new and used amateur radio, electronic, and computer gear. Admission $10, 12 and under free. Ham radio is the most fun you can have with a radio. Talk to people around your area, around the world, even orbiting the world, and you can be of service to your community. For more info on the nonprofit Charleston Hamfest, email natmw@arrl.net.
924 of the Dave Allen Show, 580 Line, brought to you by Bridge Valley. Are you interested in improving your company's IT workforce? Well, did you know Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap? At Bridge Valley, you can train for little or no cost with a 50-50 salary match. Bridge Valley can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. Let me knock out a couple texts here. On the session, says a texter, the drinking raw milk bill, according to certain legislatures, is a personal freedom bill, and consumers should be educated on the risks involved in its consumption. Wish that logic was applied to cannabis legalization. At least cannabis consumption won't potentially kill a person like raw milk consumption potentially can. Also, cannabis legalization would be a good source of supplemental revenue, unlike raw milk, says a texter. Text this one actually was for Mr. Higginbotham. I promise you he's listening right now. So Josh, if you're listening, if you want to text me back a answer to this, I will get it on the show a little bit later. But the texter said, since cannabis legislation would fall under the agricultural department, does Josh support its legalization? So, all right, Higginbotham, I know you're probably listening. If not, I will get him after the show and I'll get an answer tomorrow. Text says Higginbotham's record is exactly what will get him beat. Additionally, he can't even win his home county of Putnam. 0 chance, says a texter. Sounds to me, says a texter, like Josh is more interested in starting a new branch of the military than he is about saving farms, says a texter. Okay, so they are 2 of the most iconic names in food in West Virginia, Mr. B Potato Chips and Tudors Biscuit World. They are combining force for a good cause to help out the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Jo Beth Smith is from Make-A-Wish, and Liz Epling is with Tudors, and they both join me now. So, Jo Beth, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
And also, Liz, welcome to the show to you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, you guys feel free to jump in here at any time. So, you take Mr. B's and you take Tudors. It does not get more West Virginia than that. And now the 2 have teamed up to make these biscuit and gravy potato chips, a little Tudors, a little Mr. B's, with proceeds benefiting Make-A-Wish. Now, these chips are available in several locations, which I'll get to a little bit later on. But for Tudors, why get involved in this?
Well, first and foremost, Mr. B came to us with the opportunity and was like, hey, we want to make this, biscuit and gravy potato chip. Who has better biscuits and gravy than Tudors Biscuit World? And they wanted to have the proceeds go to a charity. And so we have a long-lasting partnership with Make-A-Wish. We actually just finished celebrating 25 years last year of partnership. So it made perfect sense for us to get involved with these iconic brands and, carry on that Appalachian culture and just give back to those who are here native in West Virginia.
Jo Beth, I'll go to you.
Absolutely. As long as West Virginia, as Make-A-Wish has been in West Virginia, Tudors has been one of our biggest sponsors. So as Liz said, we've recently celebrated 25 years with this chapter. And even before that, when we were our own chapter, Tudors was a huge supporter. So West Virginia communities, businesses celebrating and helping out West Virginia children is a win-win situation for all of us.
And I think we're all familiar with the work of Make-A-Wish, but give us the mission statement in case there's somebody that's not.
Sure. We create life-changing wishes for children who have been diagnosed with a critical illness. So we work together with communities to make that wish happen for kids. And we are thrilled to have the support of these companies to help us out.
927, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Meeks Realty Group. As a locally owned real estate powerhouse, they specialize in residential and commercial properties. No property too big or too small for Meeks. With their team of the finest realtors in the business, Meeks Realty Group is your trusted partner in finding your dream home or your dream commercial investment. Give them a call today, 304-440-1101, or visit meeks.us. And I have not had these yet, but I hear they're good. Did you bring us some samples today?
Sure
we did. Yeah, they're in another room. We might be able to get someone to maybe come bring us one or something.
They're in the other. You left them with this bunch of jackals in here.
I know. We brought plenty of bags, though. I think there should definitely be a few bags left.
I mean, I saw Steve Animal from the Mountain is roaming around the studio. He never comes downstairs at all. He stays in his hole upstairs, and he comes downstairs.
Smell it.
There's food down here or something, you know. But hopefully there'll be a little bit left for us. All right, so these are available all over, and I'm got to hit the sponsors first. You can get them at Parmar stores. Mm-hmm. Also, that's our studio sponsor. Also, Piggly Wiggly stores. They're available there, including Biggly Piggly Wiggly, I would presume, who's our phone line sponsor. But also, you can get them at Walmart, at Kroger, and at Go-Mart. Mm-hmm. That's where they're available?
Yep, all throughout the Mountain State.
All right. So and again, the proceeds for that will benefit Make-A-Wish. And so how's it been? So when did we actually start the campaign? When did it go? When did it start?
We started...
They've
been out on we started that in December. They've been out on the shelves probably 2 or 3 weeks now, pretty much statewide. So we're just getting it kicked off now. Mm-hmm. So it should be available in your local stores, so all throughout the state. So we want to be sure and get out and get those while you can. I went and looked for the ones to bring today and had to hit 2 different stores. So be sure and look them. They're going fast.
I want to get in. I'd like to, and maybe Liz, you can explain this to us. I want to get into the science of this. Okay, so how do you make the chips taste so much like the real thing? Again, I haven't had them yet. I'm hoping there'll still be some out there. Get them to taste like the biscuits and gravy Tudors. How exactly does that work?
Well, full disclosure, they're delicious. And
okay.
I am biased, but genuine opinion, I think they're very good. Personally, I like them.
I just want to know how it
That
works.
is a Mr. B secret. I think that it has something to do with some spice blending and some things like that. But they did a really great job in bringing out that biscuit and gravy flavor. You really get that sausage flavor in the chip, in my opinion. Which sounds very interesting, but I really go try it. It's hard to describe, but it tastes so yummy.
Yeah, and they've been doing, I know, different types of chips. Mm-hmm. You know, there's like a pepperoni roll, and there's some different things. But this is a little bit different because, again, it's a unique idea. Nothing says West Virginia, as I said, like Mr. B's and Tudors. But it's not just about that, because it just goes to show that commitment that these companies like this have to helping out West Virginia.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. B has often prided itself on, giving back to the communities, as has Tudors. Mm-hmm. Both of our brands believe that it's important to support the people who support us. And so that's our goal. Mr. B always wants to, the phrase is tantalize the taste buds of its customers in some unique flavors and things that you might not necessarily see on the shelves from other brands. And I think they were very successful in doing it. And, Tudors was just so happy and proud to get to be a part of it and really get to, carry that Appalachian name on.
And when it comes to Tudors, and again, I mean, this is a brand that was born here in West Virginia, and it's expanded to other locations. One of the things that I hear from a lot of my friends that have moved on to other locations, they move out to Texas or, Illinois or whatever, and they're like, gosh, I miss Tudors. I miss it.
Yeah, you have no idea. Social media is something our marketing office, of course, monitors very closely.
Sure,
and there are so many comments that come in of bring a Tudors here. We wish we saw Tudors. We moved away, or we're driving through and we had to stop at Tudors to get our Tudors fixed. So it's one of those things, if you've tried us once, you'll never forget us. I think that's pretty true in saying that. And it feels like home, right?
Yeah.
Tudors is just like coming home.
And the same with Mr. B chips. I think it's a little bit of a comfort food too.
Mm-hmm.
We all have in our own hometowns. We have those iconic places and the iconic tastes. But when you talk about West Virginia, I mean, you talk about Tudor, talk about Mr. B. I'll go ahead and throw in a little plug for Heiner's bread. It's one of those things that people seem to love here in West Virginia. Talk about your time with Make-A-Wish and talk about some of your favorite moments with Make-A-Wish.
Oh, okay. I'm starting well into my 13th year with Make-A-Wish, West Virginia, and started in the wish department. So started out working on planning the wishes, and then after a couple years moved over to development and promotion. So, gosh, it's so hard. I think that one of my favorite things, rather than not being too specific, is, and very general to most all of our families, if not all of our families, is we always include everyone in the family. So not only the wish kid, but their parents and their siblings. And, so often their siblings have had to stay home and been away from mom or dad while they had to stay in the hospital. And it really takes a toll on the entire family. Sure, yeah. So we include everyone in a wish. So they all get to go together. If it's a trip, they all get to spend some time outside of their medical world and enjoy it. So seeing the siblings and the parents being able to relax and enjoy a time with their wish kid during what is probably one of the hardest times of their lives is the most enjoyable for me.
And I don't think sometimes people realize, Jo Beth, that when you have a situation like this, like a medical, you mentioned the wish kit is the terminology that you use, it involves the whole family.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we think about, the mom and dad, but it also affects the little brothers, little sisters, bigger brothers, sisters, the cousins. I mean, this and Make-A-Wish is so good, as you said, about including and helping out the whole family in this, because the patient is obviously, front and center. But nobody lives in a vacuum. Right. It affects everybody as well. Talk about that.
Absolutely. They, they're scared. They're all scared, and have to be away from their sibling, and their, many of our children go out of state for treatment if they need specialized care. So there may be weeks or months that they don't see their sibling or one of their parents. So. And it's a scary time. So we pride ourselves in being able to give not only the wish kid the strength to get through it, but his entire family and their classmates and their church members and everyone who's touched by this child is also touched by the wish. So that's something that's very important to us. When we meet a wish child, they get a box of goodies from us, but it also includes toys for their siblings, T-shirts for everybody in the family. So we do all we can to include everyone in the whole wish process.
Any way that you've been able to track sales so far about how these things are doing? I mean, you said you had to go to 2 different stores to be able to get them this morning. So, have we seen any numbers yet, or are we deeming this a big success? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think so far it definitely seems like a success. It's a little early to know what numbers we have, but like Joe was saying, they're already gone at some stores. I know I had tried a Kroger last night to try to find a few, and it was completely gone. So it seems like people are really enjoying it. Social media has really taken off with it. People have been excited to see it and to try it. And overall, all the reviews have been really positive and good. They like the flavor. They like the taste. So, yeah, to me, it seems like a success, but of course we have to wait and see.
Yeah,
but
sure.
So far, I think it's here to say that.
And I'm thinking, where else? I'm getting into the Tudor's kitchen right now. I'm thinking, where else could we go from here? Because, we got the biscuits and gravy. One of my favorite things at Tudor's that people don't often think about is the hot dogs. Ooh, Tudor's has actually very good hot dogs.
Great hot dog.
And most people, a lot of people anyway, if they have a hot dog, they either want fries or they want a bag of chips with it. I'm thinking we take the Tudor's chili and we make chips out of it.
West Virginia dog, yeah.
Yes. See?
That's not a bad idea,
Yeah.
Mr. B. We got a new idea we'll be coming to you with.
Mr. B with the hot dog chili, or if you're north of Charleston, you have to call it sauce, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. The people are crazy.
Chili and slaw.
Yeah. Are you? Do you put slaw in your hot dogs?
Chili and slaw, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm chili and slaw girl, too.
Okay.
I'm an everything girl. I don't know about relish, but...
Yeah, well, it just depends on the
More the merrier.
Yeah. So if that happens, you got to name it after me.
Okay. Yeah, then call it the Dave.
Yeah, call it the Dave. I mean, you got the Ron, you got the Mr. B, or I'm sorry, the Mary B,
Dave's
and all these
specialty.
other. Do you have a favorite biscuit at Tudors?
I'm a Mary B girl. I love
Okay.
a Mary B. Can't go wrong with it. It's classic. It's got your crunch. It's got the softness. It's got the melted. All of it. It's just so good.
All right. What about you?
Oh, I just love a butter biscuit.
Yeah.
Just biscuit with butter. That's my favorite.
Nothing wrong with that. My favorite, and it's not on the menu, but I found that they will, because it was at one time, but they will still make it for you, is the Rocket.
Ah, yes, it is. It's actually still on our menu.
Is it?
It's a
The one I frequent in Tays Valley. It's not on the menu
It's not
board.
photographed.
but I ask for it, and sometimes it takes a little longer to make it.
It does.
But the Rocket, it's the
What
steak.
is it?
It's a steak. It's like a breaded steak kind of biscuit.
When I first started working at Tudors, I of course wanted to familiarize myself with
of
our
course.
menu. You
Yeah.
know, if I'm going to work
Research
in
and
marketing,
development.
I want to know what I'm marketing. And of course, all of our products are wonderful, but the Rocket was one of those biscuits I tried first, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. Every now and then I'll divert from my Mary B, but I stay true.
Pretty loyal.
Loyal.
All right. So again, these biscuits and gravy chips with proceeds benefiting the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's a partnership with Mr. B and with Tudors, and they are available at Par-Mar stores. They're also available at Walmart, Kroger, most Piggly Wiggly locations, and Go-Mart as well. So frequent one of those stores or frequent all of them, and you'll be helping out Make-A-Wish. Guys, I appreciate both of you for being here today. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Now, I wonder if there's any food left back there for me.
Well, we might have to fight them off for it, but I'm sure there's a few left.
And remember, I get credit for that. For the Dave. Chip,
Writing it down.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Go out there and get those chips. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is presented in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Whether you're replacing a roof, remodeling the kitchen, or replacing a bathroom, keep it safe, keep it legal. With Pinnacle Consultants, they can inspect your site, collect samples, perform lab analysis, and provide results within about a week. Testing all renovations for mold, asbestos, and lead is the law in West Virginia. Visit pinnaclecorp.net for Pinnacle Consultants, because what you don't know can hurt you. Somebody asked, or before I let you go, I got a text for you. Okay. Somebody said, do you still make the Mr. T?
No, but we
What was
do.
the Mr. T? I don't remember that.
Mr. T was a little before my time. I think it was also some form of steak sandwich. I want to say it was like Steakum. I could be really wrong about that.
I don't remember
but
that.
it was a biscuit that existed, like I said, far before my time. We do still have a few fans out there who love the Mr. T.
Okay.
Like I said, we get social posts that there's like always one person or two people that are like, bring the Mr. T back. Apparently it was a fan favorite amongst them, but unfortunately we do not have it anymore.
Okay.
We are always, open to some LTO opportunities and things, so we'll keep it in mind for maybe the future. But for now, unfortunately, no.
All right. We could do Tudors and Mr. B talk all day. So we'll schedule a show on a Friday for that, where that's all we talk about.
I love that. That'd be fun.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll take a break. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Par-Mar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Par-Mar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Imagine, if you will, a wonderland of wheels. An entire convention center filled with things you love to drive. It's the West Virginia Auto Show at the Charleston Convention Center, February 9th through the 11th. Come see new cars, new trucks, SUVs, luxury vehicles, exotics. And this year, the auto show also has boats, RVs, and motorcycles. It's a wonderland of wheels. Everything is all in one place and all in a non-selling environment. The West Virginia Auto Show. Fun for the whole family. Tickets online at westvirginiaautoshow.com.
Happy Super Bowl from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. For many, Super Bowl Sunday is all about scoring the best seat on the couch and placing some super bets. FanDuel has so many ways for you to end the season with a W. Not only can you bet on who will win Super Bowl 58, but FanDuel also has bets for which players will score a touchdown, total points scored, and so much more. New customers receive $200 in bonus bets on your first bet of $5 or more. Visit FanDuel.com/stream. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 plus and present in West Virginia. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net.
Having issues with your home like wet basements, water in your crawl space, bowing or leaning walls, or foundation cracks? You need Foster Construction, your foundation repair experts. Locally owned and operated, Foster Construction offers free inspections and estimates and has a licensed professional engineer on staff. Their services include basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and retaining walls. Call 304-776-6263 and get started today. Online at fosterconstructionwv.com. Foster Construction. They'll fix it right the first time.
18 away from 10. Nothing like eating potato chips and drinking coffee and then going on the radio. They're very good, Anthony, by the way. I don't know whether you had a chance to try any or not, but the biscuits and gravy chips are actually very good. They really are. West Virginia Enriched, in collaboration with Huntington, invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. Take a few moments to be inspired and to join the collective effort in making a difference. It's not just a story. It's a movement of hope, inclusivity, and triumph, reminding us all that every individual deserves a chance to shine in West Virginia and beyond. Huntington is truly making a difference right here at home. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580 WCHS. And what I've learned in being on the show today is I think that I could do an entire show devoted to Mr. B's potato chips and Tudors based on the text that I have gotten today. Let me knock out a couple of those texts. Text says, Dave, Tudors gravy is spot on, but their biscuits are too much fluff and not enough stuff. Needs more salt and pepper in the batter. I've often asked for their sausage gravy on side and put it on homemade biscuits. All right, so Liz, if you're listening, there's your criticism. Not a criticism, but just a constructive criticism. Text says, Dave, next trip to Tudors, you got to try the Thundering Herd on toast and add mayonnaise. Life-changing, says a texter. Text says, roast beef and melted cheddar. What happened to the cream chicken over biscuit, says a texter. All right, again, we're going to have to schedule them back. I can see that already. How come Tudors insults their burritos by calling them wraps, says a texter. I don't know, and I know Tudors, it's called Biscuit World, but I'm a pretty big fan of the wraps, too. I'll be honest with you. I like them a lot. Programming note, Hoppy's back at the Capitol today at the AARP broadcast facility discussing the governor's debt situation. Brad McElhaney will be there for that. Plus some discussion on student discipline in schools and the Crown Act. Jim Kaufman from West Virginia Hospital Association and more will be there. Hoppy Kirchhoff from the AARP broadcast location at the state capitol coming up at 10:06. It is the final day of the Parmar shootout. The shootout at the big house at West Virginia State University Institute. Again, it's just been a fantastic 3 days, and today is the final day of that. Action just got underway about 15 minutes or so ago with some of the action. Again, if you want to take a look at the entire schedule, it's posted on my social media. It's also listed on the Parmar social media pages as well. The first game was a boys game with Wirt County and Magnolia, and then there is a boys contest with Point Pleasant taking on Grafton. Then a boys game with Scott and Liberty, followed by a boys game with GW and Martinsburg. Then a boys game with Huntington taking on Parkersburg South, followed by some girls action. A little bit later on today, my alma mater, the Logan Wildcats, will take on South Charleston in a boys game, and then the final game of the shootout is Polka and Philip Barber. And again, a complete schedule is available on Parmar Store's social media pages, also on mine. And those last two games that I mentioned, the Logan and South Charleston game and Polka and Philip Barber, both of those will be broadcast live tonight on WCHS Radio as well. So about an hour ago, there was a public meeting scheduled at the Capitol to discuss HB 5243, or the Women's Bill of Rights. Brad and Hoppy will get into that a little bit more next hour. Now, among other things, it would prevent the term non-binary from being used as a category on birth certificates. It would place stronger definitions in state code on terms such as women, girl, and mother. The bill states plainly that a person's biological sex is set at birth and does not include gender identity or other terms viewed in some eyes as subjective. Any reference to gender in state code would be changed to sex under the new definitions. Now, it goes on to prohibit what the bill refers to as unfair treatment of females and males in certain situations, including providing separate living facilities, locker rooms, bathrooms, domestic violence shelters, et cetera, et cetera. The bill also states that equal does not mean same. Now, as you imagine, again, the public hearing was scheduled for 8:30 this morning. I have not followed up on that to see how that went, to see if it indeed took place. Hoppy and Brad will have more on that coming up at 10:06 this morning, I'm sure. As you can imagine, though, State Democratic Party, Democrats individually, the ACLU, and other groups greatly speaking out against it. Don't know how many were going to speak at the public hearing, but I do know that on there, I was actually reading some stuff from the ACLU earlier this morning. They were really upset about this. Fairness West Virginia being another one that was upset about it. That meeting, again, was set for 8:30 this morning at the Capitol, and Brad and Hoppy will have more on that coming up at 10:06. Going back to Josh Higginbotham. Let's see. Text says... okay, I'm not reading that part. Text says Josh Higginbotham is making a pattern of spending bucks on political races only to come up as a loser. He'll lose this race just like he did when he ran for Senate. Our citizens don't line up with his lifestyle choices, and those things matter whether he thinks they do or not. Text says, how does this guy have time to travel to 55 county courthouses in less than 6 months if he's busy working on a cattle farm? Cattle farming is very busy, and it's a full-time job, says a texter. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Brightway Insurance, the Maze agency of Tays Valley. Brightway offers up to $2 million in life insurance from all the top carriers in about 10 minutes with a 95% approval rate and no medical exam. See them for all the details. Start a quote today at brightwaymaze.com. Kanawha County Commissioner Kent Carper is back in the hospital. He said in a statement that was released a couple days ago that he hopes to be out by the end of the week. He was admitted last Friday with kidney-related issues. He, of course, had a kidney transplant going back to 2019. He had a stroke and a heart attack last year. He is running for re-election. As you heard during my interview with him, which, by the way, was one of the most bizarre interactions of my entire nearly 36-year career. That interview was back on January 26th. You can go back to the website and listen to it if you didn't hear it. It's must-listen-to radio. I'm told that the investigation is continuing into the alleged lewd behavior involving Commissioner Carper at Daniel Boone Park last May. We all know that story. No charges have been filed. Very important to keep that in mind. No charges have been filed. We do wish him, for his health purposes, wish him the best. And as for everything else, we'll just have to wait and see. He was expected. He hoped to, according to the statement that was released, he is hoping to get out of the hospital by the end of the week, which we're kind of there now. So hopefully he'll get out. He'll get out soon, and everything else, I guess, will just work itself out. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by Hudson's Pizza. It's heart-shaped pizza time again. Get the 14-inch small heart-shaped pepperoni pizza, only $14.99. Offer good for the entire month of February. Find your nearest location at Hudson'sPizza.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. More text to get to. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Do you support Donald Trump? Dwayne Duncan, the America First Republican running for Kanawha County Commission, does. Dwayne Duncan is a conservative that will defend our values. Dwayne Duncan is 100% pro-life and a member of the NRA. Dwayne Duncan wants more jobs, safer communities, and a better future for our families. Dwayne Duncan is not a career politician and will fight for all of us. Let's vote for Republican Dwayne Duncan for Kanawha County Commission.
Paid for by Dwayne Duncan for County Commission. Tori Takubo, Treasurer.
I am Miss West Virginia USA, future doctor.
And I am Miss West Virginia America, future educator.
We are partnering with the West Virginia Department of Education as ambassadors for learning.
By supporting the department's Ready, Read, Write Literacy Initiative
and the Unite with Numeracy Mathematics Initiative, we will increase student learning.
We must do this together.
Because teachers can't do this alone.
For resources and more information, visit wvde.us.
Keep tabs on the legislators elected to represent you during the 2024 legislative session. Tune in to Hoppy Kercheval and Talk Line, live twice a week from the Rotunda. Our state capitol correspondent, Brad McElhaney, will bring you blow-by-blow coverage straight from the heart of the action. And keep up with our twice-daily Capitol reports, breaking news, and daily reactions on the morning news. Comprehensive coverage of the legislative session on your voice of West Virginia and its capital city. 580 WCHS.
Join Mark Patrick's seminars, Lose the Weight or Stop Smoking Guaranteed. Early bird special only, $49.99. Seminar Monday, February 19th at the Holiday Inn and Suites in Charleston. Weight loss seminar starts at 5:30. Registration at 5. Stop smoking starts 8 p.m. Registration 7:30 p.m.
Experience the intensity of the NBA playoffs and finals on 580 WCHS. From buzzer-beating shots to fierce rivalries, we bring you the action that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Tune in and witness the battle for basketball supremacy on 580 WCHS.
It is 9:53, 7 minutes away from 10. Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Fruit Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. Today's Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe that when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Text says the listeners request the Dave Allen interview with Kent Carper again. It was the weirdest, most fascinating appearance on this program ever. It was that. I'll say that. Text says, Dear Dave, I've heard famous singers eat potato chips when recording album vocals. True story. If that's the case, there's your excuse for eating chips in your studio. Worth a try. Could only help. Says, well, the bad thing about eating potato chips in the studio is number one, the engineers kind of frown upon that sort of thing. That's number one. And number two, they get stuck in your throat. And this time of day, I'm still slamming coffee. Even though I've been up, for 5 hours now, I'm still slamming coffee. So, but the potato chips are good. The biscuits and gravy chips, no lie, they're actually pretty good. And they tell me that there are biscuits left in the green room, Anthony. I don't know how they survived you and Chris Lawrence, but apparently there are still some. So maybe I'll go down the hall and grab them when I get off the air. Phone calls of Dave Allen Show or service of Piggly Wiggly, where by the way you can pick up those Mr. B and Tudors sausage gravy potato chips. When shopping at your Piggly Wiggly, be sure to join their loyalty program. You can save big at the gas pumps and throughout the store with their electronic coupons and free gifts on Fridays just for stopping by from farm to table. Piggly Wiggly, the best kept secret in Charleston. Texting service provided by Fruit Pharmacy, your hometown family pharmacy. Find the perfect over-the-counter hearing aid at Fruit with NuvoMed hearing aids. Plus, Fruit makes it easier than ever to transfer your prescription services to them. Fruit is your hometown pharmacy and has been for 71 years. All right, so I had Josh Higginbotham on the show earlier. I had a texter that said something to the effect of, I can't find the text right now. Basically, they were asking Mr. Higginbotham, who's running for Agriculture Commissioner, his position on cannabis. So Josh had already left, but I knew he was listening to the show, and I asked him if he would, to please text back in and answer. And this was his response. I support the right of patients to use cannabis for medical purposes if it's grown in West Virginia by West Virginians. I also do not believe that a legally consenting adult should go to jail for simply possessing marijuana. That is what Josh Higginbotham, former delegate and candidate now for West Virginia Agriculture Commissioner, said during his text this morning. Let me see. Text says Higginbotham is as much a farmer as Dave Allen is a parent. That's okay. I don't know about that analogy, but no, I'm not a parent at all. Brad and I talked a little yesterday about the auctioning of the Greenbrier Sporting Club that's being done to satisfy a portion of the $300 million debt Governor Justice and his family businesses have with Carter Bank. The governor lashing out about it yesterday, saying during his statement, "I don't believe there will be 1 ounce of anything sold, period," end quote. And, he really can't get into a whole lot of details from what I understand. So he can't really say a whole lot more than that. But he did say that he does not believe that that anything is going to be sold. And reports are that members of the Greenbrier Sporting Club were getting correspondence from attorneys for justice referring to, their words, a so-called notice of sale. The communication went on to say, again quoting, "The notice of sale is invalid." The governor somewhat alluding to the politics of the whole thing in his statement, as I said. Now, one of his opponents, Congressman Alex Mooney, is saying that these matters are the public's business, which, I don't always agree with Alex Mooney on a whole heck of a lot, but I do on this, because he is the governor of the state of West Virginia. And when you're the governor, these things are going to be out there, especially when you said you're going to put all this in a blind trust. So where are we now on this? Well, as I said, the members of the sporting club there have been sent letters saying that there could be they call it a so-called sale or something to that effect, as I said earlier. And the way this club works, it is a private club that offers memberships to people who buy real estate surrounding the Greenbrier. The whole thing is really a big mess. But as I referenced yesterday on the show, or maybe it was the day before that, the article that was in the Wall Street Journal about the governor and his finances last week. I mean, this was front page of the leading business publication and one of the leading newspaper publications in the world, the Wall Street Journal, front page about it was kind of compare and contrast the popularity of Governor Justice, who's now running for Senate, and all of his financial issues. And it brought up all these things. But as I've said about this, the bottom line is that no one really cares about this in West Virginia. They knew of the governor's financial issues when he was running for office and when he was elected in 2016. I mean, his opponents made issue of this, and people still voted for him, and this has continued to pile on. It's piled on. It's piled on. And again, several months ago, he was like the 4th or 5th most popular governor in America. He's going to go down as one of West Virginia's most popular governors ever, much to the chagrin of a lot of people, sometimes within his own party. People know these things about Jim Justice, and they don't care. They simply do not care. All right, we got to go. The Dave Allen Show at 580 Live is brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Applications now available for the Dirty Birds Kids Club. Go to their website for more information on that. My producer was the A-Train, Anthony Harmon. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to Joshua Higginbotham, and thank you to the folks from Tudors and from Make-A-Wish for stopping by the show, and thank you for the food as well. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Hannah Gardner from Kanawha Charleston Humane Association with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Stephanie Casey from the West Virginia Grind basketball team. It's about time to start hooping it up again with the Grind, and Jason Huffman for Americans for Prosperity. Gotta go. I'll see you later today at the Parmar Shootout. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
580 WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.